Hey everyone out there in the VC. I wanted to do a response video to a thread that's floating out there. Darcy at six strings, nine lives wanted to get a response from people, uh, them saying what bands they got into late. They were late to the party. So bands that came out and then maybe they were around for 10, 15 years and you really weren't into them. And then way later, even if the band disbanded, you got into it and dove into their discography. The first one I wanted to start off with is I knew two songs by this band. They got played on the radio a lot. Jailbreak and The Boys Are Back in Town. That's all I knew. And I was actually kind of tired of those songs. I heard them on the radio so much. But then about 2 years ago, I started diving into Thin Lizzy's catalog and finding out they got a lot of great songs other than those two ones. And I love this cover. That would make a, if I was into tattoos, that would be a cool tattoo, but I'm never getting a tattoo. I don't like anything that much that it's going to be on my body forever. So, yeah, Thin Lizzy is one. Another band, let me grab this. I should have brought the albums closer to me. This band's been around since 1990, and they're kind of cut from the same mold as Monster Magnet, and I've loved Monster Magnet for a few decades now, but I never dove into Clutch. And about 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, this Earth Rocker album came out, and I listened to it, and I loved it. So I went back into their old albums and started listening to those, and then I've seen them in concert 3 times now. So yeah, late to the party for Clutch, but I'm here now. Another one is Steven Wilson, who used to be the band leader for Porcupine Tree. And let me grab that. This is the surround sound DVD for Porcupine Tree, Lightbulb Sun. And Porcupine Tree's been around for over 20 years, and I didn't discover it and find out about Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree until maybe 4 years ago. And then I just fell in love with what I heard, especially his solo stuff. Now that he broke apart from Porcupine Tree, I really dig his solo stuff. I mean, it's like Pink Floyd meets with more pop sensibility, Alan Parsons Project, and he remixes a lot of classic albums from the 70s and does them in surround sound. So you can get like Yes and Jethro Tull and all these old albums remixed by him and put in surround sound. I think he even did it to like Tears for Fears songs from The Big Chair. So he is a busy guy, and I think he just finished a like 3-year tour, maybe 2.5-year tour on this album here. And this one's pretty good too. It's called To the Bone. But Hand Cannot Erase is his best solo album. I have it on surround sound Blu-ray. And last but not least, well, let me say this real fast. This is an unknown band called Lucifer's Friend. I never heard of them. And then the band leader of the next band I'm going to talk about said that he loved this band maybe like a year and a half ago, and I started diving into their catalog, and they are way cool. They're from the 70s. I think the lead singer went on to be the lead singer of Uriah Heep after they lost their original lead singer. But they're like prog, hard rock, pop. Some of it sounds like if you took a 70s cop show and took the theme song with the horns and the 70s cheesiness and all that and put it into a rock song. That's what they'd sound like, some of their songs. Each album's different though. Some are more proggy than others, some are more hard rock than others, some are more poppy than others. They're really something. And I recommend you at least YouTubing them and see what you think. And the band leader who introduced me to that through something he wrote online is the band leader to Opeth. Been around this. Their first album came out in '95. I didn't get into them way late. If this was a real party, I would have showed up about 3 a.m. when everyone was leaving wasted. So I got into them in 2010, 11, and I just loved it. I always thought I wouldn't get into death growls, but this was my gateway drug to death growls. Now I have no problem with death growls because of Opeth. Very proggy. They're barely metal nowadays. They do pure prog rock, but prior to about 2011, 2010, they were progressive death metal. And but I tell you what, there's dark on their albums, there's light, there's prettiness, there's ugliness. There's a lot packed in the one Opeth album. So there you go. There is my what was that, 5, 6 bands, something like that I'm late to the party. So I will see you guys around. I know I don't make a lot of videos, but you know, I'm doing it when I do it. So take care, guys.